Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Friday, February 25th slate of NBA and college basketball games. I'm super excited to hop into it. We had a really good day yesterday, so I'm excited to hop into it. But first, I did just want to go ahead and say we are on the road to now 5,000 subscribers. Seems absolutely unreal, but we are less than 700 away from hitting that mile marker. So if you guys are new, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. As of right now, shout out to our members. I will have my editor flash the members up here on the screen. Thank you guys so much for showing so much support on such a small channel, as I always say. So thank you so much for that. But let's go ahead and do a quick recap as of yesterday. We ended up going 3-1 on the day, and unfortunately, no luck on the parlay. But we were actually pretty close. We were pretty close, to be completely honest. So our first play, we had Jared Allen over 10.5 rebounds versus Detroit. He didn't get a single point or rebound in the entire fourth quarter, so there's not really too much we could do there. He finishes with 11 points and 11 points and 8 rebounds, excuse me. So he was definitely on pace to hit it, but he just didn't do anything at all in the fourth quarter, so not really too much you can do there. That was our only loss of the day. Then we had Celtics -7 versus Brooklyn. Like I said, I wanted to make this game of the year so bad, and I just need to do it next time. That's literally twice. Earlier on in the year, it was Hornets versus Thunder. I had the Hornets covering the spread, and I had that as one of my favorite, or as almost game of the year, and that one cashed. And now all of a sudden, I had the Celtics, and I wanted to make them game of the year, and that one ended up cashing. I just need to do it. On these games that I'm super confident about, I just need to do it. But anyway, then we had Anthony Simons over 22.5 points. Honestly, we kind of got lucky on this one because Anthony Simons got to 24, and then that was pretty much it. He didn't see much playing time in the fourth quarter, and he did end up with 24, so that one cashed for us. Then we had in college basketball, Indiana -6.5 versus Maryland. That one ended up cashing for us as well. So really good day overall, 3-1 day, so you can't complain about that too much. But let's go ahead and hop into today's plays. I have 3 plays in the NBA, 1 spread pick, 2 player props for the NBA, and 1 spread pick for college basketball. So let's go ahead and dive into it. First play of the day is going to be Toronto -2.5 versus Charlotte -110 odds. I know that Fred VanVleet is listed as a game-time decision right now, but I do think with all the time that he did have off with the All-Star break, I do think that there's a pretty good chance he does play today. So Toronto, they have covered in 9 of their last 11 games. They've been a fantastic team covering recently. And as a road favorite this year, Toronto is 5-2 against the spread, so you can't argue with those numbers. Really good on the road. And speaking of on the road, they're 17-10-1 against the spread as a road team. So, as a road team, they're great, and as a road favorite, they're even better. So you can't argue with these odds here, and it's not a huge spread to cover, which is another key thing, and I do think that gives us a little bit of value there. And Charlotte, they have only covered in 3 of their last 14 games. Yes, you guys heard me right. They have only covered in 3 of their last 14 games. They have not been great when it comes to covering whatever their spread is recently, so they haven't been very good at that. And they have not covered in 9 straight home games, which is another crazy record or crazy stat there. So I think we see a bunch of value here. So that's our first play of the day. Toronto -2.5 versus Charlotte -110 odds. Our second play of the day is going to be Reggie Jackson over 6.5 assists versus the Lakers -135 odds. Reggie has cashed this line in 5 straight games, and versus the Lakers, he's done a really good job of facilitating the basketball. He's actually cashed this in his last 2 matchups versus the Los Angeles Lakers. And when it comes to the Lakers, we all know that they're not a tremendous defensive team. They give up the 4th most assists per game to opposing point guards, and they also give up the 5th most points per game in the entire NBA. So they give up a ton of points, and they give up a ton of assists to point guards. And they also give up the 5th most assists per game to opposing teams in general. So you're looking at a lot of assists given up, a lot of points given up, and a lot of assists given up to point guards. All of these stats are pointing in Reggie Jackson's favor, so we're going to be taking that. Reggie Jackson over 6.5 assists versus the Lakers at minus 135 odds. And then our third and final NBA play of the day is going to be Wendell Carter Jr. over 10.5 rebounds versus the Houston Rockets, minus 120 odds. Wendell is he's a former Bull, so I have a lot of respect for Wendell. I love Wendell, and I do think that he would be a huge piece here on the Chicago team as like a backup defensive center. But obviously, we traded to get Vucevic, which has been fantastic, so I can't say too much, but regardless, I still have nothing but respect for Wendell. I still have a Bulls Wendell Carter Jr. jersey, so I loved Wendell when he was here. But anyway, he has actually covered this exact line in 2 of his last 3 games, and versus the Houston Rockets, he's also covered in 2 of his last 3 matchups versus Houston. So I think that we have a really good advantage here. And in their last 3 games, both of these teams are top 6 in pace, I believe. I can't remember which is which, but I know that one was like 5th in pace and one is 6th in pace. Both of these teams do play at a super fast pace. And when it comes to the rebounding to opposing power forwards, they actually give up the 5th most rebounds per game to opposing power forwards. So give up a ton of rebounds to opposing power forwards, which is kind of weird that Wendell's playing the 4 and Mo Bamba's playing the 5, I guess. It just doesn't really seem like it would work. But in this situation, Wendell's still getting a lot of rebounds. And when it comes to the Houston Rockets, they have given up the 7th most rebounds per game in their last 3 games. So I think we see a ton of value there. And when it comes to both of these two teams on offense, they are both terrible, when it comes to shooting percentage. Orlando has the 2nd worst shooting percentage, and Houston has the 4th worst. So both of these two teams have terrible offenses, and they both play really fast. So lots of shots, and a lot of them are misses according to the stats. So that's going to be our third and final play for the NBA. Wendell Carter Jr. over 10.5 rebounds versus Houston, minus 120 odds. And then our college play of the day is going to be Northwestern plus 1.5 versus Penn State, minus 120 odds. Now, if you wanted to take the money line on this one, I think that is a pretty good bet as well. It does give you a little bit better odds. But Northwestern is covered in 4 of their last 6 games, so they are a very hot team as of right now. And as a road underdog this year, they are 4-3 against the spread. And as just a road team in general, they are 5-4 against the spread. So really solid numbers there. And when it comes to Penn State, they are just 4-5 against the spread as a favorite this year, and as a home favorite, they are just 3-4 against the spread. So I really love my odds here today. So that is going to be our 4th and final play of the day: Northwestern plus 1.5 versus Penn State minus 120 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so make sure that you guys are subscribed. I know that sometimes YouTube does take away the subscription, so make sure that you guys are subscribed. We're less than 700 away already, so let's try to hit that by my birthday, which is March 13th. So that is going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.